Hey everyone, how's everyone doing? Shout out to everybody in the chat. Let me see who's here today. Welcome, Christina Darcy, Christy, excuse me, SW, Nicole. Welcome. Who else? Sarah, welcome. Grandma Adas, welcome. Dizzy Dimensions, welcome, my love. Thank you, Zoya, Amy, Kat. I see you in the chat. Just know I can see you, so hopefully you know that we can all see you and you're not being blocked or anything like that. Christina. Desiree, welcome. Zoya, Chico, Wim, the good Nunya, Grandma. Everybody's in the house. I saw SW in there. Who else? Liz. Yes, everybody, welcome. Make sure you're hitting that like button. Thank you, guys. I'm scrolling up to see all the comments that I've missed. Abby, how are you? Welcome. Generally, Jenny's in the house. Welcome. Let's see. Who else did I miss? I think I got everybody so far, at least that I see here. I know I said hello to Desiree. Welcome, guys. Thank you so much. Liz is in the house as well. I said hello. Blonde, welcome. Natalie, welcome. Yes, thank you so much for coming on. Rose with Thorns and Northbound, welcome. Chico said he was number 13. Number 13. My voice is going in and out a little bit. I could feel it. So if I sound a little nasally, I apologize. Nay, welcome. Yes, everybody. Thank you. Appreciate you. Live Chaos, welcome. The good Nunya's in the house. Thank you. Open your eyes. Oh, I'm trying, girl. I'm trying. The caffeine's not hitting hard enough yet. The good Nat Flow. Welcome, my love. You guys, thank you so much for coming. Nicole's in the house as well. Thank you so much for coming. Welcome. Yes, everybody. Thank you. Please don't forget to hit that like button. Yo, we got some stuff to talk about. We got a busy day today for sure because we got a little Jared Lysick update for those that oh, I know. Chico. Chico, let me tell you something. I swear, Chico, if y'all ever need an accountability buddy, Chico's the one for you. Like I could totally be like, Chico, I'm trying to lose 20 pounds. Help me out, Chico. And she's gonna be on my ass. Like, yes. Okay, so let me give you guys a membership count because we dropped on the members. Sometimes they're gifted. That's absolutely fine. Members come and go. That's okay. Um, we reached, I know, last month 400 members. So right now, some of those 400, the 100 plus that we received did not renew their membership. So we are at 253 members on this channel right now. Yes, we got a little update. So thank you, Chico. I love Chico. I'm really lucky to have my mods. You guys don't even know. Thank you. I try. I'm trying, girl. I'm trying. All right, let me get it together. Let's get it together because we got some stuff to get into. Of course, you guys know that Court TV Law and Crime is over here reporting on now the Alexis Trevizo case. Of course, we've been ahead of them because that's how we do it. That's how we are. Thank you. I know, but y'all made that happen. Chico, SW, everybody that's been gifting and keeping me kind of, like, let's keep these memberships going. Thank you. We do need to get back to 300. We do, but we did drop because some of those did not renew or what's the word? They did not renew or some of those were gifted, and sometimes gifted, they don't always renew, and that's okay. If the likes get closer to the matching number in the chat, I might be in a gifting mood. Oh, thank you. You don't lie enough. I need to. Y'all want me to lie? I mean, maybe that's the only way to do it here nowadays. You already know. You saw my live yesterday. The only way to do it here is to lie. That's how you do it. That's how you get ahead here. Nay, thank you for the hearts. Zoya, thank you. Tammy, welcome. All right, let's get it together because we got some stuff to get into. So I want us to do a little conversation about the Alexis Avila case, which is very much similar in comparison to Alexis Trevizo. Same situation. The difference is Alexis' baby actually survived. Alexis left her baby in a dumpster after having it, buried in trash. The baby actually survived. And she was also sentence and charge and all that other stuff. So it's an interesting case to make a comparison to. I want to talk about Gary Mitchell, the attorney, and then I want to talk about the alleged father of this child, which is Devyn Fierro, based on his own acknowledgement that he is the child of this father. Okay. We got to also talk about the TikTokers and what's been going on because the TikTokers have been ahead of the game. I think a lot more so than a lot of the YouTubers, right? Oh, did she? I didn't know. Oh, thank you, Grandma. See, let me get my other device going. Hold up, y'all, because see, I don't even be paying attention. Thank you, my love. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Thank you for doing that. You guys are awesome, yo. Good Nanya gifted and Grandma gifted. So we just got 10 more. Look at that. Oh my God. Damn. Listen, I got to start grifting more. I don't do it enough. Just joking. That's horrible to say. Thank you, Chico, for gifting. Look at you guys. You guys are so awesome. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. You guys are awesome. Thank you for gifting. My goodness. I'm so I know. Thank you. Shout out to Chico. Thank you. All right. Let's get it together. We got to get to the program. Let's talk about these TikTokers right now. So we have a little bit of an update on this case, and the update was put out by Abby. You guys know that I have referenced Abby here. Let's watch a little bit of her TikTok and let me know your thoughts in the comments. And Chico, thank you for gifting yet again. Thank you, my love. Uh-oh.
Then I don't know what is. I am on a, you guys, if this isn't dedication, then I don't know what is. I am on a lake beach, and I checked my phone and found out that the prosecution has filed into Alexie's case for a continuance.
Thank
and
you,
I have
SW.
a copy of that, so I'm going to show you right now. Okay, so here it is, filed on June 28th. We know that it was filed by the prosecution because if you look where it says party type, it has a P. And then I'll show you the document right here. Okay, so it's kind of dark. I apologize for that. But order granting continuance. This matter came before the court on the state's motion for continuance, and the court being sufficiently advised in the premises. You can read the rest of it, but it was granted. So you guys, there's going to be continuance. So the September 11th pretrial hearing, the October 2nd trial start date. Let's just forget those dates because it's not going to happen. The state, for whatever reason, needs a continuance. I don't know why. We can't assume that it means because Gary Mitchell is giving them a run for their money. We can't assume that.
Oh my goodness. Let me pause this. I cannot with you. Good Nanya says, I mean, since you know what? I should have really played that card. I was fired and I lost my job. So grift away. This is a joke. I love you. I love you. Wim gifted 5. Oh my God. Look, I'm spitting everywhere. Hold up, y'all. I need a napkin. Wim gifted 5 memberships. Oh my God. Y'all need to stop. Oh my gosh. All right. And Chico then gifted. SW gifted. Nanya has gifted. Grandma has gifted. Oh, all right, y'all. All right, stop, please. We got to all right, we're good, guys. Thank you. You guys are awesome. Thank you, Wim. Thank you, Grandma. Thank you, Nanya. Thank you, Chico. Thank you, SW. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everybody. I know they are. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. So let's do a little thing about what's happening here. The state has filed for a continuance. This is what Miss Abby here is saying. Let me go back a little bit so we can re-listen because I know I was really excited when I was watching this.
Guys, if this isn't dedication, then I don't know what is. I am on a lake beach, and I checked my phone and found out that the prosecution has filed into Alexie's case for a continuance. And I have a copy of that, so I'm going to show you right now.
Wow.
Okay, so here it is, filed on June 28th. We know that it was filed by the prosecution because if you look where it says party type, it has a P. And then I'll show you the document right here. Okay, so it's kind of dark. I apologize for that. But order granting continuance. This matter came before the court on the state's motion for continuance, and the court being sufficiently advised in the premises. You can read the rest of it, but it was granted. So you guys, there's going to be continuance. So the September 11th pretrial hearing, the October 2nd trial start date. Let's just forget those dates because it's not going to happen. The state, for whatever reason, needs a continuance. I don't know why. We can't assume that it means because Gary Mitchell has given them a run for their money. We can't assume that. They're just being very thorough, wanting to make sure that they have everything they need to get a guilty verdict. That's how I'm taking it.
What do you guys think? Why do you guys think the state would file for continuance? Do you think that they're just trying to gather doing, is it about Gary and his reputation, which by the way, I was not aware. We got to go over there and talk about Gary and his reputation. I had no clue about all the cases that he has tried, everything that he has done. Did you guys know? I mean, I'm sure he's a very expensive attorney at that, right? Watch this. Hold up.
That her attorney is already making and speaking to the press. I put off talking about him as long as I could because he just really angers me. And I think there is a special place in hell for the type of people that he has historically defended and for him himself. However, I'm going to attempt to put my personal bias aside. Click on that video, go watch what he has to say, and I'm also going to summarize it, and then let's talk about it. So one thing I want to point out is that he is alleging, I assume, because this is what the news anchor says, that she was given Zofran, sodium chloride, which is just normal saline,
medication, guys,
and morphine. We did hear Rosa mention something about either Toradol or Tramadol during the arrest footage. I don't know that it's been confirmed what she got. I would hope her actual medical records haven't been leaked, but at this point, everything seems to be fair game because we have everything on the internet. But if we're going by just what that news anchor says when speaking to the attorney, Zofran, sodium chloride, morphine, which I think is probably the most credible information we've got at this point because he would have had access to her medical records.
Right.
He does point out that they are contraindicated. Again, I'm not a nurse, just from what I've read online. I do think Zofran is not recommended and maybe contraindicated, but the morphine and the normal saline are not. So yes, I don't know about the Zofran part. I'll leave that to the nurses on TikTok. But let's talk about what he says. What he goes on to say in the video that just makes me want to, I had to transcribe this to make sure that I accurately captured what he said. You guys are going to watch it when you click on that link, but I'm going to read it for you.
Listen.
People would be very pleased with the actions that she took and the way she handled the situation, despite the fact that she is on major pain medication, is in total shock and a state of panic. She still tried to do the right thing by her baby. Mr. Mitchell, I think you and I have a different definition of what makes someone very pleased and what you define the right thing as. Thoughts? Let's talk about...
All right, hold up. I got to go down. Here it is.
Let's talk some more about Alexis Trevizo's attorney, Gary Mitchell. If you click on that comment right there, it'll take you to a video that I made about him, and a lot of people were not familiar with some of the cases he's defended. So let's talk about it. First, I am going to read what he said in a news conference about her because I just cannot get over this. So I'm going to read this statement a million more times so that we don't forget. And I quote, "People would be very pleased with the actions that she took and the way she handled the situation, despite the fact that she is on major pain medication, is in total shock and a state of panic. She still tried to do the right thing by her baby." Let's talk about the type of high-profile cases he's defended in the past. He defended baby Brianna's mother, one of the worst cases of child abuse in New Mexico. Baby Brianna was unalived at 5 months old. She was found to have skull fractures, broken ribs, both broken legs, and one broken arm. Her mother, Stephanie Lopez, was sentenced to 13 years, and she is now currently out, released, walking free. He also defended Michelle Martins. Michelle Martins was the mother of 10-year-old Victoria Martins, who was found dismembered and wrapped in burning blankets. She accepted a plea deal, and she took a 12-year sentence. This case was in Roswell, New Mexico. He represented the mother, Veronica Bogie, who had a 3-year-old adopted daughter named Grace Bogie. She was born with spina bifida. She was unalived at 3 years old, and the autopsy report found the cause of death was homicide. Mother was charged with 3 counts of child abandonment and child abuse resulting in death. The autopsy showed skull fractures were the injury resulting in homicide. And she was represented by Gary and acquitted, never served any time. This is Cody Posey, who was represented by Gary Mitchell at 14 years old. He was charged with unaliving his father, his stepmother, and his stepsister. At 16 years old, was sentenced to serve in a psychiatric facility until he turned 21 and he was to be released.
Wow.
This case is about Michael Astorga, who was convicted of unaliving a sheriff deputy, James McRain. He did receive a life sentence, but it was a capital murder charge, which carried the death penalty, and he was spared from the death penalty, allegedly because of Gary Mitchell's work. Let's talk some more about Alexis Trevizo's attorney, Gary Mitchell. If you click on that comment right there.
I love how she did a little like review of his past cases. So I mean, he's helped a lot of his clients, I guess, that have been facing some heinous charges. Regardless, I mean, some of them have been acquitted, some of them have been let go. This, I think, is what he's showing right now. Is he's showing his defense. So when you guys, there's a couple of you guys in the comments talking about, like, when you guys, somebody specific in the comments said to me, why does it matter when she was given pain medicine? Why does it matter when the order of events happen? Honestly, it matters because if the defense is already saying, well, the hospital didn't do this and that and the other, the order of the events as to how they happen, a timeline, I would think would be very important. I think it's very important to see kind of how somebody's going to come at you with an argument in order for you to kind of, be prepared for it, right? So to me, it would make sense that to pay attention to the order of how things, whether, I think it's important to know when she was given medication. Was it before or after the pregnancy test, the pain medication? When was it that, and I'm just thinking in my mind, when was it, what time did she ask to go to the bathroom? What time did she say specific things? These are timelines that are very important. Yes, he was interviewed in a Snap. Are you serious? He was interviewed in a Snap episode for it? I wouldn't be surprised. So I'm sure he's a very expensive attorney. I'm sure they probably had to sell a couple things, mortgage a couple things, and put up their houses and stuff like that in order to get this kind of attorney. I'm pretty sure of it. Just my thought. So this is interesting to even see. Let me go back a little bit for those that did not catch all the cases. Here we have, hold up. And this is Brandy, Bayou Brandy. If you guys want to check her out, Brandy Joe. And I'm going to put her information in the description box because I do like how she does this little like breakdown of these cases. So,
type of high profile cases he's defended in the past. He defended baby Brianna's mother, one of the worst cases of child abuse in New Mexico. Baby Brianna was unalived at 5 months old. She was found to have skull fractures, broken ribs, both broken legs, and one broken arm. Her mother, Stephanie Lopez, was sentenced to 13 years, and she is now currently out, released, walking free. He also defended Michelle Martins. Michelle Martins was the mother of 10-year-old Victoria Martins, who was found dismembered and wrapped in burning blankets. She accepted a plea deal and she took 12-year sentence. This case was in Roswell, New Mexico. He represented the mother, Veronica Bogie, who had a 3-year-old adopted daughter named Grace Bogie. She was born with spina bifida. She was unalived at 3 years old, and the autopsy report found the cause of death was homicide. Mother was charged with 3 counts of child abandonment and child abuse resulting in death. The autopsy showed skull fractures were the injury resulting in homicide. And she was represented by Gary and acquitted. Never served any time.
There you go. So it is just a little, review. So what do we know so far? We know that the DA is pushing back as asking for a continuance on this trial. Hopefully they'll do right by whatever. Maybe they're asking for more evidence. Maybe they're pulling more information. Who knows? We really, really don't know what's up with that. The other thing too is, you're like Good Nanya said, all he has to do is create reasonable doubt. And that's what he's doing as his attorney, as the attorney on this case. I know when I first heard about this case, it did kind of make me wonder, and it made me guess a little bit about, like, well, what were the circumstances? And now knowing a little bit more about the situation and the case itself, it's starting to make sense that this was a deliberate crime. This is a girl that, um, whether she intended to or not, murdered her newborn child. Okay, she hid it. Well, intentionally, I would say at this point, because she had ample time to call somebody out and say, "Hey, I'm having a baby." Let's make a comparison, okay? You guys remember, in the body cam footage, mom tells Alexi, "I told you about this. You remember the girl with the baby that threw her baby in the trash can?" This is the case that they were referencing that also happened in New Mexico. So, New Mexico mother, 19, same age as Alexi, sentenced to prison for tossing her newborn baby in a trash dumpster. Okay? Let's look at this article right quick, right quick. Hold up, hold up. A New Mexico teen mother was sentenced Monday. And by the way, this article is from May 2nd of 2023, this year. Okay? A New Mexico teen was sentenced Monday to a mandatory 18 years in prison for tossing her newborn son into a trash dumpster behind a shopping center. But a state district judge cited mental health concerns and the defendant's age in suspending 2 years of the punishment. So she had a mandatory 18-year sentence. In Alexi's case, she actually killed her child, right? She murdered that baby. Yes, you remember that, Crystal? Because remember, she did say that. And mom said she didn't know about her being pregnant, and that is proof that that was a lie based on what she was said on the hospital. Yeah, mom acknowledged. Remember, I told you about this. We talked about this body cam footage. Um, so this was a similar case, right? You have a 19-year-old who uh, gives birth to a baby, dumps the baby into the dumpster, and receives a mandatory 18-year in prison 18-year sentence in prison for tossing her newborn son into the trash can, or excuse me, trash dumpster behind a shopping center. And there were mental health concerns. So even if the argument becomes Alexi has some mental health issues going on, I think New Mexico kind of weighs in that in consideration, but will still follow the mandatory sentence that might be in place in that, right? Should she be found guilty. Jurors convicted Alexis Avila, 19, of child abuse involving great bodily harm following a days long trial last month in which her public defender argued her actions were not premeditated and that a previously undiagnosed mental health disorder played a role. Judge William told Avila that had it not been for luck and the grace of God, he would have been deliberating a sentence in a murder case, as there was a high probability the child could have died and had it not been found that winter day in Hobbs near the Texas border. This was that picture, yo, that picture right there. And I don't know if you guys remember ever watching this case, but I do remember that there was like they had pictures of when this thing went down and how it all happened. Absolutely. You can always look at this. This is why we have safe haven laws. You don't have to do this. You give the baby to a fire station, drop the baby, no questions asked. A hospital, a church, give the baby, give it to a McDonald's restaurant and tell them, take this baby. And have them call 911 and have them taken to a safe haven. Something. You don't have to do things like this. It's a really like we have a problem in society if we are doing things like this. You know what I'm saying? Like to actually put children in dumpsters. I get it. Things happen, right? We don't know sometimes. You can become the product of a rape situation, whatever it may be, but there are ways to deal with things like this, and this is not it. You remember watching the footage of that case? There is no excuse. Absolutely. There isn't. I don't like someone I don't I don't like when someone does something wrong. The first thing they say is mental health, says Adaz. All she had to do was hand over the baby. Absolutely, Chico. All she had to do, all Alexi had to do was pull the cord. She just pulled the cord. She was at a hospital. This girl is a different situation. But Similar, New Mexico, same age, 19. And this is what happened. There's something wrong in our society when we can't teach our kids, our young women, okay, our adult women, that there's places where if you don't want this child, you could give up this child, no questions asked. Avila told the judge she wants to learn how to deal with stress and anxiety, and says she regrets missing out on her son's first milestones. I regret this. I regret his first hours of life were traumatic, and I regret that he will always have this in the back of his head and will think I do not love him because that's what he'll read and hear. She said, "That's not true at all. I do love him. I truly do." This is a 19-year-old, 20-year-old who will forever have to live with this for the rest of her life. And this baby, to know that this child's going to have to live with that for the rest of his life. Avila was arrested in January of 2022. Police said a group of people were looking through the trash bin when they found the baby and tried to keep the baby boy warm until police and paramedics arrived. Shout out to those people that were there. Investigators used surveillance video to identify a car suspected of being involved, which led them to Avila. Public defender disputed that Avila made a premeditated attempt to kill her baby. The public defender said that while Avila's actions were wrong, they were the result of her bipolar disorder and that she was disassociated and detached from her feelings. Thank you, SW, for gifting memberships, my love. Thank you. I just saw that on my phone. Now, Alexis will be about 34 years old when she gets out of prison. Damn. That's so she's 19. She's going to be 34 years old when she gets out of jail. 34. This baby survived. The other one didn't. The public defender said in a statement after the sentencing, "We're trying to work with the prison to make sure that she has access to therapy, education while incarcerated. So when she gets out, she can have a meaningful life." So a licensed clinical social worker by the name of Jack, who has worked with Avila, vouched for her persistent mental health issues during the trial. They also called Avila's mother to the stand, who said this is not an action she would have taken if she would have been in the right state of mind. The station reported. Avila's case spurred new conversation in New Mexico community among legislators about the state's safe haven laws, which allow parents to leave a baby younger than 90 days. Look at this. The baby doesn't even have to be a newborn. It has to be younger than 90 days at a safe location without criminal consequences. Such laws first began to pass in state legislature in the early 2000s in response to a report of baby killings and abandonments. 90 days. 90 days. I'm just like 90 days. Okay, let's keep going. New Mexico lawmakers in 2002 approved a bill to expand the state's safe haven laws programs and provide funds to build one more baby box for each county where the infant can be left. Boxes can be installed in several other states. Florida is the latest to consider legislation that would allow for the boxes. This is Alexis Avila. Avila. Avila's sentence comes just days after Minnesota woman who admitted to leaving her newborn son to die near the Mississippi River 2 decades ago was sentenced to 27 years in prison. Jennifer Matter was sentenced Friday for second-degree murder. Um, Not young girl. She's gonna be in there until she's 35. 35. That's the thing, Shamina, and that's what everybody's saying. It's like I know a lot. Look, as somebody who's worked in the mental health field, not everybody that is bipolar results into these kinds of actions. I do feel like I do feel like the court system needs to have a better understanding of mental health professionals and mental health issues when they're doing sentencing and when they're like mental health court. Are they under the guides of a mental health professional while they're making these type of decisions on folks? So this is definitely something that needs to be considered. Cherie says, please tell me how someone can become so detached that even she gives birth to something. She didn't even freak out like it was something alien. No, I agree. I don't know how. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how I don't know. But that's a good question. Mm, this is crazy. Let's see. Make sure that these girls have hysterectomies. That may stop some BS. Sounds harsh, but oh well, says Poots. They are trying to make they're definitely going to make an example of Alexi. I mean, I'm sorry, but that is the fact of the matter. They are going to make an example of her in this situation. And believe it or not, people there is a lot, and let me go back to the TikTokers, okay? There is like a back and forth happening right now, which I get it to a certain degree. A lot of us want answers. Here's the deal. Let me see. Hold up. Let me see what this says. Was it a crazy case? Says Crystal Grossos. You knew about that case. Thank you so much for the $3, Crystal Ray. Thank you. Wow. Next to Red Wing, it was a crazy case. Wow. Thank you for sharing. So Alexis only got 15 years. She got a mandatory of 18-year sentence. But I'm sure that they're probably going to work something so that she's able to be like, like there's community probation, like community parole type deal. But that just gives you guys, and this, why it's an interesting case to compare is because number one, it's literally they're the same age, same state. So that they're going to follow probably similar protocol as it becomes to sentencing should she be found guilty, right? The fact that people are blaming the hospital, like, and I'll say it again, I feel like they did not fail Alexi, they failed that baby. That's how I feel. Thank you. Oh my gosh, they have two babes. Wow, Crystal Ray, thank you. So this is like happening a lot more often. I mean, I don't understand why more states don't have like the boxes. But see, I could understand where like, oh man, because that's just crazy. Because you guys know, like, unless you could put up the baby for adoption, it's going to become, the state's responsibility for that child. So keep that in mind. It's nuts. It's happening way too often. Oh my gosh. Yeah, in good time, she could probably get out earlier. You're absolutely right. I mean, it's happening. And I'm sure you guys can do research about safe haven laws in your state. Find out, like, is there statistics that are, being looked into and whatnot? So Abby did it. There's, again, like us on YouTube. And like I said, I welcome differences of opinion. If you guys feel like, no, we need to look at this, consider that, I blame this person, I'm cool with that. TikTokers are kind of going back and forth on certain things and they're responding to each other, which is fine. I wanted to show this argument.
You guys, I've had a lot of messages in my inbox in the past hour asking if I have seen the video that was posted by this TikToker, Melissa, whatever, Cologne. I don't care. I wasn't going to watch the video because I was pre-warned that she was basically making the hospital staff look negligent. So this girl's obviously Team Alexi, and I was like, nope, not going to entertain it. But I ended up watching the video. I'm going to post some of it here for you, and then I'm going to come back with my response.
She calls the CNA over, just kind of randomly looking. Obviously, she's pointing to the bag or the garbage can. CNA's going to get gloves. Again, no sense of urgency. So we're talking about a baby in a garbage can, and yet they haven't determined if the baby was dead or alive yet. Nobody has laid hands on the baby. Why is there no urgency to grab the baby out of the garbage bag or out of the garbage can and do something, determine if it is dead or alive.
It had been over 20
She
minutes.
grabs the bags out from on top of it.
I don't think that see, this is where I differ. I don't think it really matters how long it was. Like, nobody grabbed it. Some people actually, when these videos were released, and they're just now dissecting. We've been dissecting these interviews for a while now, right? Some of the people were talking about how the CNA lied. We knew that the head nurse in charge was misinforming in that interview. Yes, and right there, that's where the hospital felt. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter if it was 20 minutes. You know what I'm saying? That's how, did they see a baby or not? Did they feel like that was a baby, or were they like, there's body, stuff? This is where I differ in my opinion, and that's just me. That's just me. That's all. You know. I don't get why they didn't rush down to get the baby. A lot of people are saying that. And I think that's kind of where I'm at. I would have picked up the baby without gloves. A lot of people are saying, and SW is a medical professional too. Everybody's saying different things. If I was the nurse, I would have grabbed the bag immediately. Look, at everybody saying different things. This is why I kind of like, I don't feel like anybody is wrong in their feelings of what somebody should have done different, because I feel the same way too. I do feel like the hospital was not negligent toward Alexei. Alexei failed. Alexei lied. Alexei did not inform. Alexei intentionally double wrapped this baby in this trash can because it wasn't breathing according to her. Yeah, yeah. Hold her to that. But there is, in my opinion, negligence here, a failure here. From the time that her test was positive, there should have been something. That's where I stand. My opinion. My opinion.
Looks down and other people are coming over. Again, no sense of urgency. This is the part that really gets me. Watch what happens after the charge nurse, the triage nurse, and the CNA all look into the garbage can. Whatever it is that they're doing, everybody walks away. Everybody leaves that baby. There is nobody there. We have no idea if this baby is gasping, if it's taking a last breath, if it has a pulse. We know nothing, and yet everybody leaves the baby.
Actually, they knew a lot at that point. They knew that a baby had been tightly secured in a trash bag for over 20 minutes with a complete lack of oxygen. Now, a grown adult with a large lung capacity could not go that long in a trash bag.
I don't know if they had a concept of time. Sure, let's say that they knew that there was a baby there, but I don't know if you could have a concept of time. The cleaning staff showed up. Like, she made there were some arguments being made how in some hospitals, cleaning staff don't even show up until way later, depending on the shift or whatever. They showed up right away, right? Knowing the bloody mess that was all over, because that's how it was described. I do feel like baby had been wrapped for 20 minutes. Who's going to be like, well, how long, nobody's looking at the time. I'm just saying reactionary is, oh shit, there's a baby there. Oh shit, rip the bag. Yeah, it's a crime scene. I get it. But you can't determine whether a baby is alive or dead by not really, like, you have to look at the baby, right? You have to actually rip the bag, right? You have to actually peer your head in there and be like, yeah, it's not breathing. That's how you would determine if it's dead or alive, right? Not by walking away from it. So I hear the other argument too. This is where I think, and I don't have, like I said, well, this is where we differ in opinions. I am not Team Lexi. I think Lexi should be definitely held responsible for this shit. The hospital treated Lexi for the things that she was coming in for, and Lexi deliberately lied. But where the negligence occurred, in my opinion, is right from the time of this urine test to where they were at. Yes, they could also tell by the color. Exactly. So this was why I was like, this is where I differ in my opinion. But just because I feel like the hospital was negligent in saving this baby's life does not mean that Lexi should be let go. No, she needs to go to trial. And I hope that the DA has all of their evidentiary stuff on point so that she is convicted for murdering her newborn son.
And survive. But yet, you think a brand new little infant could have survived that? And shame on the hospital staff for not aggressively getting him out and trying to save his life when clearly he was gone. Now, we know that the housekeeper, she is not a CNA. She's not a nurse. She's not a doctor. She's a housekeeper. She got a call for a stat clean on the bathroom. We saw from her interview that emptying the trash can was the very last thing she did. She mopped the floors. She cleaned the walls. She did all of that stuff first. Then she went to pull the trash and thought, okay, this is heavy. So she notices something in the bottom. She doesn't know what it is. You guys, she's not a nurse. She doesn't know what it is. She's not going to go messing with stuff. She calls for backup. The CNA comes and they're probably like, what the hell is that? And then, hey, nurse, can you come and take a look at this? Like, what is this? Like in the bottom,
And I like Abby's opinion because I believe she's also a registered nurse. Shout out to her. SW says, I would have checked that bathroom long before calling housekeeping if I saw that bloody mess. Absolutely. That's how I see it. Amy's like, I'm an RN and I believe both are responsible. My instincts would have been to grab the baby and rip the bag open. I wouldn't have thought, no, you don't think about a crime scene. You're just thinking about there's a baby in there. Get this baby. Wim, I hear you. No worries, my love. And I want to thank you so much for gifting memberships. Thank you for doing that. And this is such a heated, let me tell y'all something. I'm going to tell you guys because I don't like getting in the, I don't like getting in the debates of, but it always takes everybody to this like pro-life, pro-choice debate. I don't want to do that. To me, that is not even the issue here. The issue is that this girl lied about being pregnant, was given a pregnancy test and still lied about it, and she murdered her baby. That's what this is about. And if we can get away from that for a little bit and focus on her actions, I really think we can have a pretty good conducive conversation because we're not going to convince anybody about choices that you know what I'm saying? Like we're all adults here. We're all set in our ways to a certain degree. So as far as this it's a hard thing to even touch on that. But this specific case takes a lot of people to that because we could have done the shoulda, woulda, coulda, still could have Alexi, but here we are, and she's charged with murder. You know, that's how I feel. Let me see. Let me see. I saw all the blood that was pressed. Yes, yes. And the doctor saw the blood too. The doctor saw her walking down from the hallway. The doctor looked at her feet and she had blood on her socks. You know what I'm saying? Completely. That's how I see it. These comments are delayed. I don't know. The truth is, none of us know what this baby boy looked like in the trash can. And all any of us can do is speculate as to what we would have done. You know what, Chrissy T, you're right. It's a lot of speculation too. You're absolutely right. The doctor states in her interview that she did not attempt to resuscitate because the baby body temperature felt cold. She didn't want to contaminate any evidence of a crime scene. What the fuck? Evidence really? Right. I did hear the doctor say that. I did hear the doctor say that. She knew she was pregnant. She knew along the way she was pregnant will define the case. Yes, we don't know. We don't know what text messages look like. We don't know what you call it, Google searches. We don't. Here's the deal, and this is why I brought Devyn Fierro, the alleged father. So now everybody's talking about Devyn, okay? And we're going to talk about Devyn because a lot of people are just bringing this up. That he kind of, he was aware that she was in pain. Okay, keep that in mind. We knew that she was in pain and whatnot, right? But did he know? Did he really like? Did he really, really, really know that you know that she was pregnant? That is the question. Did he know? Was he also in denial of this pregnancy? Like, I just have a really hard time with this. Let me see if I can find this freaking video. As it pertains to Devyn, was it Law and Crime that did it? Let's see, Law and Crime. Because, they're catching up to this case now. I think it's Law and Crime Network. Lexi, here we go. Trevizo. Oh, I don't know why it's not showing up. It is not showing up. Okay. Well, we're going to move on to Alexis Trevizo. Let's talk about Court TV real quick, because Court TV did a little analysis on this case situation. Hold up. Let me see. Skylar Richardson was the other girl. Y'all remember the Skylar Richardson? She was the other girl that was like pregnant and another situation, another case, but she got a different type of sentence.
Trying to get to the bottom of why could something like this happen? So let's start with a case that we covered here on Court TV involving a young woman named Skylar Richardson. Now, Skylar got pregnant. She hid the pregnancy from her parents, from her mother, pretty much from everyone. She gave birth by herself in her room, and she was arrested and charged with the murder of that child. And the headlines when it first happened were, cheerleader, blonde, burns her newborn alive. Those were the headlines. She burned the child alive. They got her to admit to that on video. Then we had a trial, and we heard the evidence, and we saw the evidence. Turns out the child wasn't burned alive. The state's own expert mistakenly said that initially and then retracted that opinion. Child was never burned. So we saw a false confession in the case here on Court TV. And from there, the state's case went completely downhill. She was found not guilty of killing her newborn. And they came to the conclusion that the child was stillborn, or there was reasonable doubt in the case. So Skylar Richardson, big headlines, accused of being this monster. Turns out the jury did not believe any of it. Now, another case we've covered recently, this one in New Mexico, involving a young woman. This is a woman named Alexis Avila in New Mexico. And you remember that video of a baby being tossed in a dumpster. Now, this case, tragic on many ends, but the child survived. There were some people, some dumpster divers who happened to go to those dumpsters and find the child still alive miraculously. But the mother got 16 years for attempted murder for what she did, getting rid of that 18 years old, getting rid of the baby, tossing her newborn into the dumpster. But that baby survived. Tonight's story, also from New Mexico, involves a young woman, Alexis Trevizo. She gave birth in a hospital, but not like in a hospital room with doctors, in the bathroom. That's where all this happened. And we're going to show you some video tonight of everything that we know from the surveillance camera, from the body cams of the responding officers, what people had to say. But it's so different than all these other ones. So different that she's actually in a hospital.
Yep.
It leaves the hospital room at the moment that she's in labor and delivering the child, and delivers the child in the bathroom, leaves the child in the bathroom, goes back to the hospital room where her mom is and the doctors and the staff. So really the question I think that we all have is how could this happen? How could you be in a hospital and be pregnant and somehow run off to the bathroom and give birth by yourself, and the child doesn't survive? Prosecutors, investigators believe this is murder. The defense not agreeing as to what really happened. But how did all this happen? How could it happen? So let's start by going through the video that we have from this day. And it's bizarre. We started at 1:38 a.m. Alexia is seen running into the bathroom. Then at 1:39, there's her mom, walks up to the bathroom.
We've seen this, guys. We've seen this already.
Okay, so that's like a minute later. And obviously her mom's gonna, checking on her, what's going on? Where are you? Why aren't you in the room? She was admitted to the hospital for severe back pain that she was suffering from. She wasn't there. She didn't think she didn't say she was pregnant. I don't know if she knew she was pregnant. Her mother didn't know, I could tell you that for sure. So that's at 1:38. Now we flash forward like another 10 minutes to 1:48.
She goes back
Mom
again.
checks on the bathroom door again. So now Alexi's been in there 11 minutes at this point. So mom's obviously a little bit worried about what's going on. What is happening inside that room? What are you doing? And I don't know what that conversation is. We don't have audio of this part of the video, but what's that conversation? Because presumably this is the moment that she's giving birth to a child inside there. And you see some staff members wandering around as well.
This is a good question. Look, Trust No One says, if the hospital even thought she was pregnant, why wasn't they following her everywhere? Well, here's the deal. They didn't think she was pregnant. They knew she was pregnant because she took a pregnancy test. Doctor says, okay, her pregnancy test is positive. I think she's having a miscarriage. And I'm imagining that, doctors letting, and here's the deal. Shout out to my beautiful medical professionals. Last time we had a little panel and we were talking about this. One of the things that the hospital should have done immediately, they should have separated Alexi from her mom. You're having these conversations. Alexi, this is going on. Okay, well, ma'am, I got to talk to your daughter. Can you please step out? I have to have a conversation with her. That would have allowed for some level of trust for the very, short time that she was there to have happened. Alexi, is it possible that you're pregnant? I'm not having sex. I'm a virgin. Alexi, you just took a pregnancy test. A pregnancy test is positive. Is it possible that you're pregnant? We don't know what could have happened then. We don't know if she would have been like, yeah, I just didn't want to tell you in front of my mom because then my mom's going to get mad at me. My mom's going to, she's going to kick me out of the house or I'm going to hell for being pregnant. I don't know, because I'm just thinking of, the different things that conversation wise would have happened. I don't know. There was zero, thank you, control over that situation from the doctors and hospital standpoint. They did not, even though maybe Lexi would have been like, yeah, it's okay that my mom's there. If y'all notice the controlling part of this woman to her child, and she's lying about being pregnant even though she took a pregnancy test, we got a problem. There's a problem here. Always separate the mother from the child. She's 19, okay? Read the room. Alexi could have also handed the baby to them from the bathroom, and her mom would have been none the wiser. I don't know about that one, but I could see what you're saying. She could have said, I don't know what to do. I don't know who to talk to. I'm pregnant and I don't know what to, Could have been a lot of things. It could have been a lot. Yes. Yes. Mhm. It's a lot. It's a lot.
In the hallway there. Now mom's heading back and she's worried. I'm sure she's a little confused. I don't know if she knows what's going on here. So that's all at 1:48. Now you flash forward almost another 10 minutes to 1:57, and this is when Alexi leaves the bathroom with a doctor and a staff member. There you see, but no baby. She's just leaving. She's going
She's
back
looking
now.
at her socks.
So all of that happened from 1:38 to 1:57. All that is happening. And people are going back. Okay, we're going back to the room. Now we flash forward to 2:25 a.m. and a cleaning woman brings out the trash can, and now she's calling for help because in the trash can is the baby boy. So this is when the discovery is made, 2:25, right? So it's less than an hour since Alexis first went in there, and now the body of the child is being discovered. And I can't imagine what that was like, that moment for the cleaning woman. Now the doctors are coming. What is going on here? It's confusion. It's chaos. People cannot believe what they are seeing and what has just happened inside of a hospital. This is a hospital.
Yep.
And now you've got the body, and you've got to take some action here. Like, what just happened here, folks? It's extremely confusing. This is not simple. Oh, young woman sneaks off somewhere, gives birth, prom mom throws the baby in a dumpster. This is something completely different. Completely. You're at a hospital, and now everyone's trying to figure out, what do we do? We've got a baby in a trash can in the bathroom.
Oh, man.
Wow. And now that's the baby now being brought into one of the rooms. Okay. That's shocking enough, like on many different levels and layers in all of this. So now we're going to play for you some of the police body cam at the hospital. And this is where the officers are kind of talking to each other about what is happening and what just happened inside this hospital. Let's watch.
We did a pregnancy test on her, showed positive. She had denying that she had sex. Then she said she had to go to the bathroom. She went to the bathroom. She was in there for quite a while. We kept knocking on the door. Finally, we got her to open the door, and there was blood everywhere. She was cleaning it up. Okay. So we took her back to the room, and I was afraid that she knew she was pregnant. She had done something to herself. Mm-hmm. So the doctor started doing a vaginal exam on her. We had the lady come to clean the bathroom. She put the baby in the trash can, and then she put another clean liner over the top of it. Oh, wow. Okay. So when they looked in there, there was no trash in there, but it's underneath the clean bag. The baby's dead. Okay, we have him in trauma too, but she killed the kid.
Yeah, how old was the baby?
I don't know. It's full term. She just had it. She had it in the bathroom. Was what happened. And then whatever she did, I don't know. She's gonna lie. She wouldn't tell us she's pregnant. She's been lying the whole time. Okay. So that's what's going on. I just pulled the doctor out of the room, so nothing's been said to the patient or the mother that's in there yet. Okay. I have Leela, the housekeeper. If you want to interview her, she's the one that kind of found.
Yeah, because I wanted to get with you guys first and then get with her.
Get her crazy.
Well, I'm the charge, and this is what has happened. Okay. You can interview the nurse that had her, the two nurses that were taking care of her. You can talk to the tech, which is Lori. She's the one that went in there and actually found it. Because Leela's like, this is really heavy. Okay. So then Lori went in there, and then of course the baby was underneath the clean liner.
Okay, yeah, we can speak with Lori.
Okay, I'll get Lori.
I will say this though, and this is yes, definitely. I think a lot of us felt that way too. Pending the outcome of this criminal trial, I believe, if she gets found guilty, the chances of them winning any civil suit are next to none. I would agree. Do you guys think that the mom is going to sue the hospital at this point? Because people have been saying that too. It's a lot, and I think that this is why I say I respect everybody's opinion here because I think it's all valuable. I have mine and y'all have yours, and that's cool. Like, I like to hear different perspectives. I have slowly changed my mind about different things as it pertains to this case. That I was like, and I wonder. One of the things I was going to ask you guys, and I put the poll about the alleged father of this baby, right? Devyn and grandmother, his mother, paternal, were just a surprise about the situation. At least that's what it appeared. I'm having a really hard time reading Devyn in the body cam footage. I'm having a really hard time even kind of assessing, like, okay. Paternal grandmother. She has this baby. Her argument is she didn't know she was pregnant. Okay, she didn't know she was pregnant. All right. I can understand that. She decides to put the baby in the garbage can. Ties the baby up the liners are there, all this other stuff. I get it. Trash on top of the baby. The baby is dead. Entrapment. Homicide, right? She gets charged. She gets let out on bond. She gets to go to prom. She gets to go back to cheerleading and her work and whatever the hell else she's doing. As a grandmother, Devyn's mom, do you think she was rushed to support Lexi? Because when they went to go arrest her, Devyn's mom was in the house. She rushes into the house. Okay. It's a very hard position to be in. I'm thinking in my mind, like, I'm wondering, are they choosing to support Lexi because they believe she didn't know she was pregnant, and then she didn't intend to murder this baby? Yeah. Yeah. I know, Scorpion Sting. Thank you. Um, but you would have to wonder though. Like they are acting like I'm just wondering what is Devyn's mom thinking in all of this? Maybe she is. What is Devyn's mom, grandmother, paternal grandmother, that your firstborn grandchild was murdered, placed in the bag? It kind of hit me a little bit different when I was thinking about it that way. I was like, damn, damn. First baby, first grandchild, I'm assuming. No. She was in the body cam footage and she also appeared at the footage when she was arrested too. She seems to go over to the house a lot with them. You don't know about paternal grandmother? But I mean, we've talked about Rosa. We talked about Lexi's mom. What about paternal grandmother? Because that's a loss to her too, right? I didn't even think of that until recently. I was like, damn, paternal grandmother, Devyn's mom. That's your grandchild. I was thinking the same too. I was thinking the same. The mom seemed united, possibly close. I don't know. They didn't think that the kids were hooking up, right? Well, Devyn's mother laughed when the detective asked if he was the father. Could have been a nervous laugh. Okay, she's 19 and a senior in high school. How old is the boyfriend? I think they're about the same age. If not, he might be younger, about a year. They're not too far out. In my opinion, the grandmas don't care. They're too busy insulting their adult children. Why was her mother so shocked when she came to arrest her? She flip-flopped. Yeah, she did. Because I think that they felt like this was going to go away. No, no, no. That's not going to go away. I feel like they thought this was going to go away. That's what I feel, in my opinion. They really thought this was going to go away. So that's why I ask you guys, did Devyn know she was pregnant? And I'm curious to know what text messages, Google searches, what all they have in there, because that's going to be really telling. And I do believe that it's important. It doesn't take away from, who's that, actions and stuff like that. But I think that if your son had knowledge that she was pregnant, you could have also said something and you didn't. You know what I'm saying? Shared responsibility between all of them. All of them. Yeah. hmm My favorite part of the arrest is when mom asks what Lexi did to get arrested, and the cop says homicide and tampering with evidence. And the mom goes, tampering with evidence? I saw that. She's like, what did she do to get arrested? I'm like, did you really think that this was not going to happen? Did you honestly think that they were going to come after you and this was not going to happen? Except, listen. Mm-mm-mm. No worries, Chico. You got to go to work, Chico. Thank you, though. Why were they all living in the same house, allowing two young people to play house? Says Gloria. I mean, what she didn't say was, no, mom, I don't have sex, says Marlene. Lord have mercy. All right. They will all lie under oath. I think they will. Well, they definitely show that there's some dishonesty there. I also think that her mom is going to blame Devyn for this, of course, or the hospital, right? This is rough. Lexi will never just go back. No, she won't. No, she will never go back to normal. Like this is something that affected. I think it affected a community as a whole. This is something that's huge. Making this type of decision that she made, knowing that she's at a hospital. Why are they acting like it's 1855? Talk to your kids about sex and options. Thank you. Thank you. Girl, cuz I mean, it's shame. Shame is the hardest thing to get around from. Shame. When you use shame on certain matters, it definitely is concerning, shame. People shame other people, Thank you, Nate, for the Cash App, my love. Thank you, thank you. I just got it. An independent thinker, thank you so much for that as well. I'm gonna let you guys go because I gotta prepare for another live stream that I have to do on the Jared Lysick thing. And we are definitely going to come back. We got some content to do today. Let me know your thoughts in the comments about this case. Let me know where your thought process is at. What do you guys think about the Gary Mitchell background and his defense? That that if people knew what the client was trying to do, that they would have understood her decision making. Y'all understand the decision making? Let me know. I'm going to let you guys go. You guys have a great one. I'm out of here. Thank you so much for all the gifting of memberships. And for those that became and renewed members, thank you so much, as well as your super chats and your super stickers and cash apps. Thank you so much. Y'all guys have a great day. I'll see you in a little bit.